Hello, here to take us through the international newspapers is Florence Vilminot. Hello.
Hi, Claire.
Florence. Now, we're going to start off with coverage of that sentencing in China of Gu Kailai. She's the wife of an ousted Communist Party leader who was obviously given a suspended death sentence.
That's right, and it's interesting to note that it's getting some attention in the China Daily, which up until now has been very discreet about the whole trial. There's an article in today's edition that says that Gu Kailai is sentenced to death, and it's a very factual article that describes the circumstances of this businessman, Neil Hayward, and the circumstances of his death that were outlined in court. And according to this article, Gu Kailai poisoned him to death, and that constitutes the crime of intentional homicide. And they interview a legal expert who attended the closed doors hearing, and she says that the ruling was based on law and that the criminals received just punishment. But there's a strikingly different opinion in the Wall Street Journal Asia in their editorial. They say that this trial was in fact a show trial, and it shows just how precarious the Communist Party's rule is right now. It says that Gu Kailai is most likely taking the rap for a crime that she probably didn't commit. And basically the Communist Party is using this trial to direct attention away from a crisis within Chinese politics that involves her husband, Bo Xilai. Now, according to this article, Bo Xilai became too powerful, both in terms of money, also in terms of he had friends in very high places, and he was a challenger to the Communist Party's old guard. And basically his downfall avoided a very uncomfortable power struggle within the Communist Party. And so his wife's trial has allowed the party's old guard to distract the world from a very close call.
All right, now moving on to even more controversy surrounding Julian Assange, and this time in the UK because of George Galloway's comments on the allegations of sexual assault against him in Sweden.
Absolutely. This is getting attention in The Independent. The MP has a 30-minute podcast where he comes to Assange's defense and says that the sexual assault allegations against Assange should not be considered rape. They are part of what he calls the sex game, the game of sex. And essentially what he says is that it should be acceptable to have intercourse with a woman if she's sleeping, if she has previously consented to sex. Now, these are very controversial allegations for George Galloway. He says that Assange may be guilty of bad sexual etiquette, but not rape. Now, this immediately sparked outrage. The Independent said in their editorial says that Mr. Galloway is unfit for public office.
No surprise that that sparked controversy and outrage in the UK. Moving on to more controversy, this time in the US. And this is a Republican running for a Senate seat who's made comments about legitimate rape.
That's right. He's a sixth-term Missouri congressman who was speaking on a TV channel. He explained just why he's staunchly against abortion, including in cases of rape. He says if it's legitimate rape, the female body has a way to try and shut down that whole thing and avoid getting pregnant. Now, he's drawn criticism from both Democrats and Republicans, unsurprisingly, for these comments. And the Washington Post, in their editorial, they lambast him. They really don't mince their words. They say that his remarks were ignorant, offensive. They say, quote, "It's scary that someone so ill-informed could hold an elective office or even have the chance of becoming a senator." So they don't mince their words.
No, and he's under increasing pressure to withdraw from that Senate race. Thank you very much, Florence, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned to France 24.